Hello guys, now in this video we are gonna continue with variables, and we are gonna end this video with really nice stuff that you are gonna love. So if you guys take a look, as I said, on this resource, you will find a lot of stuff. Okay, you will find the types of variables that we have. You will find more and stuff that I'm gonna talk in this video. So as I said guys, when we are working with different programs, we are working with programming in general, there are different stuff that we are going to deal with it. For example, if somebody tells you that you need to create programs that for example do certain thing, for example calculate two numbers, okay, so you need to, for example, put these two numbers in a variables of type integer, okay, and just focus on this word which is type integer, and maybe put them together. Okay, simple as that. So or for example, maybe someone told you to create a program that take the name from the user and print it, so probably you will be putting the name, okay, inside the variable of type string. Okay, so in this video we are going to take the types of variables, okay, and how to add a specific type to certain variable. So what I'm going to do, previously what we work with, for example, if we create a variable called it name, I'm going to assign it the value to be, let's say, use the old name which is Rob. So as you can see guys, now Kotlin by default, when I assigned this double quotation, okay, now Kotlin will recognize this variable as a string, okay, because it has this value, or it has the double quotation. But if I make it like 12, now Kotlin will recognize it as an integer or a number. Okay, now the string, it's contain all the text, and the integer, it's contain a number. Okay, now if I change it to something else, to another type, which is the boolean, which is either to be true or false, and we are gonna see later on how to use the boolean variable, which is quite a bit weird, or it's not weird, but we are gonna use it later on to make it very clear for you. So my point here is Kotlin will recognize the variable variable type by its value. Okay, now how do we make this variable to be string in all the time? Okay, now it's just very simple. We add the double quotation, we add the this double colon, and we give it the keyword string. Okay, and then we assign a value of it to be Rob. Now this variable will be string in all the time. It cannot accept any other value of like number. For example, if I make it like 12, oops, now it will give me an error, okay, because this is expecting a string, okay, from this. How can we put an integer or a number inside of it? That's why it's not happy with our variable. So I'm gonna make it back to Rob. I'm gonna create another variable, okay, I'm gonna name it age, do the same thing, add the int here, assign the value of it to be this, okay. And if you are wondering where I am getting this int and string, it's just what we call them the data types, okay, or the types of the variable, or the data that we have, okay. So as I said, if you took a look here inside this documentation, so probably you will understand what I'm talking about, how I do know everything. So I gave you this great resource to make sure that you understand everything. So as you can see, we have this types, okay, we have numbers, characters, boolean, so on and so forth. But for you, just bear with me and you will understand. Okay, now guys, as you can see, we learned how to tell the compiler that we want this variable type to be certain thing, okay, and still you can use this the previous way of typing like this, and assign the value of it to be, for example, Chris. Okay, oops, this variables already exist. So I'm gonna change the variable name, as you can see here. Now you can use both of the ways, whether you add specific type or you use the default type or the value. Okay, now we are gonna take a look on another thing, which is the null. Okay, the null safety, or how they call it, the null safety. That means create a variable without a value and assign the value of it later on. Now this may be a little bit strange or weird. Why I should create a variable without a value? Okay, it does not make sense, but once we work with Android Studio and create Android applications, you will get and understand how this cool, or how this is important. So, but I'm gonna show you the idea. So I'm creating a var. I'm gonna make it father name. Okay, I'm not gonna assign it should be a type of string, of course, because the name cannot be number. Okay, and I'm gonna leave it like this. And the second line, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reassign, I'm gonna make it null. Okay, the variable, I'm gonna make it null. Okay, that means variable null, it does not have any value. Okay, now as you can see, Android Studio or not Android Studio, the IntelliJ, sorry, give us an error. Okay, it's actually not an error, we are missing something, which is the question mark right here in the end of the word string. Okay, that's how we make a variable now. Okay, now as you can see, this variable father name, if you print the value of it using the print function, will ask it to be null. Okay, and later on, for example, I decided to make the value of it to be that. Okay, so as you can see, Android Studio, or sorry for keeping saying Android Studio, it's the same interface. So now the compiler will take the value that and assign it to father name, even if it was null before. Okay, so that's how we make a variable with the null value and assign the value of it later on. So let's go ahead and create another one of type int or integer. So I'm going to type var father age. Okay, I'm going to make it of type int, because the age cannot be just an age, just a number. Okay, I'm gonna make it add the question mark and make the father, the next line, age to be null. Okay, and later on I can, for example, after a while, I will use this father age. For example, I decided to make it okay like this. It will be very nice, of course. So guys, that was our lesson about the null safety, as well as add a specific type to a certain variable. Now guys, you may be wondering what did I did in this lesson. We didn't get anything new in Kotlin, but bear with me, this is really important. We are going to use it in later on with Android Studio, and it will be very powerful. Now guys, a quick task for you for this lesson. Okay, go ahead and instead create the same program that we created previously, which was printing your name, your age, as well as your country, but use this type of for example, your variable name. Let me delete everything that we have wrote right here. Okay, now instead of using the previous way of creating variables, go ahead and create like this. For example, variable name, or your name should be string. Okay, and work with that, with assign your value, or and print it later with the print function. So go ahead guys and start making this quiz. Okay, this little program with the new way of creating variables and assign certain types and add the null with it. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. We are gonna go more and more with Kotlin, and be patient. Thank you so much, and see you later.